Hi, I'm Henry Wong. So we're here to discuss getting ready to buy. So you're looking at buying a house or a unit or apartment sometime in the future. So when you're getting ready to buy, a good thing to do is you need to save for a deposit. Now, ideally, you want to save for 20% deposit. Now, if you can't get 20%, aim for 10% deposit. Another thing that you also need to save for is the stamp duty. So understand that whatever you have in your bank account and you say, oh, I've got 20% deposit, you have to understand that the stamp duty is not part of the deposit. It's in addition to the deposit. Number 3, what you also want to get is a pre-approval. Now, what I mean by pre-approval is that the bank has all your financials assessed already or assessed to a certain extent, and they've got all necessary documents to process the loan. So with regards to the pre-approval, the bank needs all your latest payslips, sometimes they may need a letter from your employer. Just need to ask your bank that or mortgage broker. So your letter of employment. So they just need to confirm that you're actually currently employed. So I'm just basing it as if you're a PAYG, you work for someone else, you're not a business owner. Also, with regards to pre-approval, you need to understand that the bank will ask you, is it okay if we do a credit check? So you need to fill out some sort of form with the bank saying that you allow them to do a credit check. Now, what the credit check is, it checks every single place that you owe money to. So it could be to the government for speeding fines. It could be, I've actually borrowed from, for example, ANZ Bank, a personal loan. So anything that you don't disclose to the bank, it will come up with a credit check. You actually can't hide it. So the best thing you can do is to actually be completely honest with the bank and say, look, I have a personal loan. I also have credit cards. I owe someone else some money. You want to be as honest as possible because at the end of the day, they're going to find out you can't exactly hide that. So with the pre-approval, payslips, letter of employment, credit check, make sure the bank has all the updated information about yourself. If it's not the bank that you're currently banking with, obviously they need to have latest bank statements. So that's what I mean by getting ready to buy. Also with getting ready to buy, you need to think about when are you looking to buy? Are you looking to buy 12 months out or are you looking to buy in 2 years' time? So if you're looking at buying 12 months out or 6 months out, make sure that you have your expenses in order. So when the bank actually looks at lending you money, they don't just look at your income, they also look at your living expenses, how you live. Do you go about buy takeaway every single night? Do you go out to the movies a few times a week? So they actually look at all your living expenses. So you need to be careful on that. You might want to, pull back a bit and just monitor your expenses, especially if you're going to go borrow in the next 6, 12, 24 months. Also, when you're getting ready to buy, one of the things obviously you need to do is you need to do your own research as to where you want to buy, what can you afford. Number 6 is you need to take into account when you buy. I strongly suggest you get a building and pest inspection. Unless it's a vacant land, then there's no need to get one done. Always get a building and pest inspection report. Try to get one from yourself, or if there's already one, have a look at it. If you're happy with that, then so be it. If not, get your own building and pest inspection report. And number 7 is you need to understand that you need to pay a solicitor. You can be self-acting, but I would suggest you get a solicitor. So generally when you buy, the solicitor's fees are more expensive than when you sell. Now, when you get a solicitor, make sure you ask them, what is the total cost? Because most of them will quote you, these are our fees, but you have to understand the solicitor also charges search fees, their government search fees. So that's their fees plus the search fees. And those together becomes your total fees. So you need to make sure you get that really, really clear. Are these the total fees, your fees plus search fees, or are these just your fees? So make sure you get clear cut about the actual fees you need to pay a solicitor. Also, the building and pest inspector. Generally, there's actually one inspector that does both the building and pest, or it could be two. One does a building, one does a pest. So obviously you need to pay the money and you need to make sure that you're there on site, or your family member or friend is there on site at the inspection. It goes for about an hour to an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. And make sure that you're happy with the place, because with the building pest report, it's quite thick. So that's pretty much all you need to primarily watch out for in most cases when you're getting ready to buy.